Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ameritech Talks. I'm Christina, Growth and Partnership Manager at Ameritech, and I'm thrilled to have you here for another dive deep into the world of AI innovation. In our first episode, we explored how AI is transforming coding and software development. But AI doesn't just live in the realm of software, it's breaking into the physical world, powering AI agents and robotic automation. From self-learning AI agents that executes tasks with minimal human intervention to intelligent robots that adapt, evolve, and automate industries, we are entering a new era of automation AI-driven systems. To explore this, we're bringing back Edward Cruz, founder and CEO of Go for Vertical, head of AI innovation at Ameritech, and an expert in AI driven automation, robotics, and intelligent agents. Edward, welcome back.
Thanks, Christina. It's great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Last time we talked about AI in software development, but today we're taking a step further into autonomous AI systems and robotics. Let's start with the fundamentals. AI agents are often described as intelligent systems that can analyze, learn, and take action autonomously. Can you define AI agents for us? How do they differ from traditional automation, and what are some real world application of AI agents today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, AI agents are definitely a new thing. They are autonomous systems, right? Which means that they are completely standalone and they have these unique ability to be able to perceive, to reason, and to take action. That is really different from what traditionally automation was about. Those are things like bots, for example. Bots were, as a rule, very static, only able to do one kind of thing. The amazing thing is that AI agents can learn, they can adapt to changes, and they can make decisions, which is a very, very different evolution of what's possible now. So, again, thinking back to what it was before, these new AI agents are very flexible and intelligent versus the old bots, which were very rigid and basically only able to do what they were scripted to do. So as far as like real world applications, there are so many. They're everything from customer service, where you're able to have them actually chat using voice generation with customers and use natural language to understand the conversation. It also goes directly into some of the most challenging areas of IT work, such as cybersecurity. So that's where it's possible for agents to do early threat detection and to actually respond to those threats. In industry, there are always challenges around logistics, and so it's a definite great fit for AI agents to be able to help with things like route optimization and inventory management. So basically, it's all across the board. Virtually every aspect of business will be impacted by the use of AI agents moving forward.
Awesome. So AI agents aren't just for robotics, right? They are already being integrated in software development, DevOps, and IT operations. How are AI agents optimizing DevOps, cloud management, and IT infrastructure? What's the potential of AI agents in automating debugging, monitoring, and security?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So everyone's probably heard about AI use in coding, but with agents, there is a lot more potential there. You mentioned DevOps, and so that's one of the most important roles around doing software development, and that's where it's possible to use AI agents to help with things like continuous integration, continuous development, to also do things like cloud management. So much of our IT infrastructure is in the cloud now, so if you can use AI agents to dynamically manage, scale it, and even help with cost optimization, that's an amazing benefit. So really, I would say across the board, real-time monitoring and the ability to respond immediately to changes in any sort of software development environment is where AI agents are really going to shine. So in specific sort of tasks, that's where you have, for example, debugging. That's something where we've already seen that in place in a lot of the coding tools that have come out. And beyond that, we also have the ability to, for example, to examine things like, hey, is this system going to be performing at the level that we need? Is it going to be secure? Let's have AI agents monitor it and provide a feedback loop so that we can have this continuous awareness and ability to rectify any issues that might come up with a software system. So they're going to be and unbelievably helpful in that kind of thing.
That's absolutely amazing. Now, let's move beyond software and into robotic automation. How has AI changed the way robots operate compared to traditional automation, and what industries are seeing the biggest transformation with AI powered robotics?
Yes. So just like with AI agents, software agents, robotics is having the exact same revolution. And that brings it into the real world. Old robotic systems were going to be like bots, very basically scripted, pre-programmed, just doing repetitive tasks over and over again. With AI, robots can now learn, they can understand their environment, they can adapt to it, and they can handle very complex tasks that take a lot more inputs. For example, the ability to use vision to see what's in their environment and to react to that. And like AI agents, they can also be intelligent. They can reason and they can make decisions around things and take action. So this is again another huge revolution that we'll see with robotics and AI automation. The areas where, of course, this is going to impact are things like manufacturing. We've already seen robots in that industry for a long time, but it's going to make them even more powerful. Also, they'll be able to work in unison with each other better. There will be better collaboration, I should say, between robots and also humans. Companies like Amazon have been at the forefront of this, but it's going to become much more common and ubiquitous for other companies now to be able to do things like warehouse automation or workflow automation. It's going to be so widespread. You've seen autonomous vehicles like with Teslas, and then also even in healthcare, where you have surgical robots and the ability to use robots to help with patient care. So it's going to have a major impact on industry.
Marvelous. Absolutely. And a major shift is happening in AI. Machines aren't just executing tasks, they're learning, adapting, and making decisions. What are some breakthroughs in autonomous AI that are pushing the limits of what AI systems can do? And how close are we to AI systems that can fully operate without human intervention?
Yeah, so some of the most recent innovations include things like self-learning, where they can basically use reinforcement learning to master things that are complex, not just do simple tasks. And like I mentioned before, the ability to leverage multimodal AI, which means you're able to take audio inputs, video inputs, language, motion, all of these things can be inputs into these AI agents, which we've never been able to do before. These are all based on the foundation of the AI models that are being created now that we've just now had within the last year. So we're going to be able to really leverage that to develop these new automated systems. We can also look to them being on what we call the edge, which means that they're going to be on devices like phones and basically giving greater accessibility to these capabilities. So that will definitely be changing how things are done now. So about your question, like how close we are to being able to operate without humans, I would say that we're making really great progress, but that's mostly in places where the workflows and jobs that they're doing are very controlled already. And that's actually perfectly fine and appropriate. So that's actually a good setting for this. The thing is that we still need them to have human oversight. This is what we call human in the mix, and it's really important for these systems to work well. So we're really not at the point where they can be completely autonomous without any human help, but we're going to get there. Maybe in 5 years, 10 years, we will get there. For now, it's definitely going to be something where humans continue to be an important part of how all of these systems work. So for now, it's a mix of the two.
With AI-powered agents and robotics advancing rapidly, there are still challenges to solve. What are the biggest challenges in deploying AI agents and robotics at scale? How can companies overcome these obstacles to successfully integrate AI-powered automation?
Yeah, so there is a much higher bar, especially once you bring it into the real world or you have these AI agents doing real tasks. And so one of the absolute most important things here is quality, like actually making sure that what you're building is going to do the work that you have targeted extremely well. And this means that we have to rethink how we deliver these technologies. We just can't build them and release them like a software startup might. we have to actually hit a much higher bar, which means we're thinking now more like enterprise software. So that is something that is extremely critical. There's also the cost of the infrastructure, because all of this infrastructure is new and available now. Costs are still relatively high. And so that's a challenge for this as well. I don't want to, of course, neglect the human aspect of this. And this is extremely important because we want to make sure that that when these technologies roll out, that we're taking humans not into consideration, but they're a primary focus of this. We want to make sure that we have an ethical approach to rolling out these technologies. So the best way really for companies to approach this, I think, is to, first of all, commit to pursuing them, to absolutely realize, hey, this is the future. We've got to do this, and to make that investment. Because the human piece is so important, you have to upskill your workforce. There's going to be a lot of human AI collaboration, and your workers need to know how to do this. So that is, I think, the most important part of the foundation. But I don't want to, again, neglect that you need to have a really strong ethical framework for doing this. And of course, safety standards where robotics are involved. So that is where it's going to be absolutely essential for humans to be a critical part of this mix. I would say just finally also that you don't have to take a huge leap all at once. You can start small with a pilot project, and then as you gain traction, scale and do more of this. So that would be an important strategy for companies also.
Edward, this has been another fascinating discussion. AI agents and robotic automation are shaping the future at an incredible pace. If there's one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember about AI agents and robotics, what would it be?
Yeah, so I would say that the most important thing is that we're on the crest of an amazing wave right now, and this is going to change everything. And the thing is that while it's going to amplify what's possible, it's going to also amplify human potential. So we're not really talking about replacement. It's going to be something where it's going to make human endeavors much more efficient, accelerated, and that's going to be a successful collaboration, I think. So that is where I think we're headed. It's going to change the way human and AI and technology all work together, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, me too. Before we wrap up, we want to hear from you, our listeners. What industries do you think will benefit the most from AI agents and robotics? And what questions do you have about AI powered automation? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. We'll feature some of your questions in our next episode. Edward, thank you again for sharing your insights. It's been a pleasure having you here on Ameritech Talks.
Thanks, Christina. I enjoyed it.